Health is the only thing that does that. And when I was coming on the show, I was looking at, the tagline for this podcast, which is build, fight, protect, and lead. Well, the human experience, the first thing that builds is our body. We're literally in the womb. The body is being built through the food that our mothers are eating from the earth. And so we get built up in this way. And the interesting thing about being human is we must fight with our bodies because it requires inputs. We require the water and the exercise and the movement. So it's a worthy fight when you start to connect to this. And then to protect, we want to protect our families, but we also need to focus on protecting our health, right? Because there's so many, as I said, toxic influences and things trying to derail us. And then this might also be motivating. If you have kids and you want to set a good example for them, you want your kids to be, follow the Lord. You want your kids to be whole. The best way to do that is to embody it yourself. And so how can you really lead your family properly if you yourself are unhealthy and trapped in these patterns and habits? And I'll say this too, something I've become more clear on is there are so many ways to fall into sin, which I'll say is deviation off of the true path that leads us closest to God. And for a lot of guys, like it is through the body with gluttony, using food as the escape to deal with the stress and to eat our feelings away, is sloth and laziness, which becomes a kind of inertia and momentum that keeps us stuck. It is pride, perhaps, or maybe even envy of other people who have things that we don't have. And so I actually think working through the body, when a man realizes is the same thing as spiritual path and purification, it can become highly motivating because you're not just working on your physical, you are working on this body temple as a vehicle for your whole soul and your whole life experience. And what I'm ultimately getting at, to put it in like more simple terms, is we need to get greater psychological leverage on why health truly matters so that you have the real picture. And it becomes not just something that's nice to have, but something that's foundational to you thriving. And when you get there and you connect to those reasons deeply, then you have a lot more power and fuel in the tank, because it is inevitable that challenges are going to happen. But when you're connected to what we actually do with Fit Father is we have our guys, when they start the program, write a mission statement that lays out, these are my values. This is how health connects to my values. This is what my life would look like if I don't make changes. This is where I actually want to go. And here's what I'm actually committed to. A written statement, a founding document that encapsulates this, and we connect with it on a daily basis. This is how we begin to rewire the psychology and to begin to gain some leverage. So there's a lot more than that, but I want to pause here because I know I've been talking for a bit.